Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Today is my Premier League predictions. I'm finally get to do it. I know I said this last week. I'm gonna do it this my Premier League prediction. I'm finally doing it, and if you see on the clock up there, where is it? There. It starts in under 40 minutes, so I need to do this very quickly. This video will come out whenever Premier League starts, which is probably like now. And I'm just I do apologise for not uploading it on time. I've been busy all week and I just haven't had the time to do it, and finally I'm just getting to do it. So let's start this. So we're gonna start from bottom to top, where I know I didn't do it last week in the championship. I just did like alphabetical teams. This time I'm just gonna do bottom to top. And that's how I'm gonna do it, so please respect it. So so we're gonna start here. So from bottom of my team, I'm gonna predict Ipswich Town, because as I said, I don't see Ipswich doing it this season, because I know they made a history. They've gone from League One to the Championship to the Premier League, but of that occasion, that's a good achievement. Like, they've broke like a record. I think like that was like the first time like in over 20 years a single club has done that before, and now they've finally broke it. And I just don't see itself happening. I know they've got a big fan base, including Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran's like a massive Ipswich fan, but I just don't think they're gonna do it. So that's why Ipswich is now bottom on the table. Next up is a team I kind of dislike because they got us relegated, and that is Nottingham Forest. They got a 6-point deduction last season, and I feel like they're gonna get relegated because of the amount of points they got deduction, and they managed to survive. I don't know how they've done it, and they had to knock my team down to the Championship, which is very upsetting. And hopefully that doesn't happen again, and whenever we get back to the Premier League. But anyway, I'm going to put Forest there because amount of players they have, amount of on loan players they have, I think they're going to get relegated, and they're going to struggle for third season in a row. Next up, 18th place. I predict Everton to finish 18th, because, like I said, they had a point deduction last season, and they managed to survive, which I don't know how. I don't know how they survived with a point deduction. It was like 10 points, and then they got to 8 points in total. And I see themselves having another season struggle. I think they're gonna go back to the Championship for the first time, because according to Premier League history, Everton has stayed in the Premier League since it even began. So hopefully Everton will go down, and hopefully they won't get back to the Premier League in a while. So that's my prediction, and that's my relegation team predicted. So I've got Ipswich to come last, Forest to come 19th, and I've got 18th, which is Everton. So moving on to the team that's coming to finish in 17th, I officially predicted Wolverhampton Wanderers, and you are probably thinking, oh, you're not predicting Southampton or Leicester, the promoted side. I think Leicester will probably do well this season. Wolves, I think that Wolves, they had a kind of a bit of struggle season, and they kind of cost the Premier League a lot, because amount of VAR decisions they got given in the last season, it's like ridiculous amount of VAR decisions. Like, one time they got pushed by a Man United player, which is my team, and they managed to lose, which is good. And one time they against Luton, they got a handball denied when it got deflected, and it doesn't matter because we got a draw back then, and I went to that game, which was happy. But Wolves, I think they'll come 17th. I think they'll have a VAR disgrace again, as VAR is returning again for the second season, for the 6th season in a row now. So yeah, so Wolverhampton finishing 17th. I think Yarrow Nil will just struggle there. Moving on to 16th place, I officially put another newly promoted side. What that is, Southampton. I think Southampton will just they'll stay up, but I think they'll just struggle. They'll just won't do well. And that's why Southampton will finish 16th. obviously they got promoted from the playoff final. They got lucky, but do you really think they're going to do well? Probably not, and that's why they're going to be in the relegation battle and they're going to finish 16th place, and they will just survive. Moving on to 15th place, I officially put Cherries, Bournemouth. Even though Bournemouth had a very good season last year, they were very close to being European. They were close. They were probably supposed to be close, maybe getting Europe. They didn't in the end, because we beat them, which was good. And after they beat Luton with an amazing comeback, that I was not happy about, it was kind of happy for them. And Bournemouth, I think they'll do well. They will just have another average season, which is good for them. And I think I don't know who's the new manager. It's like one of the new managers. I think that manager will just keep Bournemouth steady and just stay up for another season. They'll always do an average season, Bournemouth. So I don't know what to say. Like, moving on to 14th place, I officially put Brentford. And you are probably thinking, Brentford, they did have a very struggle season because they did have Ivan Toney. Because Ivan Toney did admitted something. And since Ivan Toney came back, he's been strong, and that's why he got the plane to Germany back in the Euros. And that's why I think Brentford will have enough struggle season. Even though they still have Ivan Toney, they will just have an average season and just finish 14th. And that's my prediction. Moving on into 13th place, which is the last part of the low table, I'm going to say Crystal Palace. Every season, Crystal Palace have an average season, and that's why Crystal Palace are going to have another average season. They're just going to finish 13th, and hopefully they can just stay up and hopefully just achieve from their team and just hopefully go up above and be advantage of that team. And that's my prediction. Like, I think they've got Georgia Ayew, from them, and they'll just decide off to keep on the team. Next up is 12th place. I officially predict, I'm going to say Leicester City. And another league, I think they'll just stay, because I know they have 2 seasons ago, they have a really bad, because it's when they lost Kasper Schmeichel to he went to Lyon or something. They've really struggled and they got back to the championship for the first time in 11 or 12 years. And now that's why this season they'll have a better season. They'll finish 12th and they'll just stay up and just survive. That's my prediction. And I think they'll just hopefully do well and just be like a more dramatic team and just be more realistic. And hopefully they'll be strong and stay safe and hopefully just stay up. And this will probably be Jamie Vardy's last season, because you know how old he is, 38 years old, and he's still playing for Leicester, which is mad. Yeah. But anyway, let's go into the next team. In 11th place, I predict West Ham. I think West Ham will just have another average season. They'll fight for Europe, but I know they haven't, because they won the Conference League last year. But I think they'll just have an average season and just miss European sports, so that's why in 11th place is West Ham. And that's my prediction. Moving on into 10th place, finishing 10th place, I've gone for Fulham. I think Fulham will have a very good season. I think the last couple of seasons Fulham actually have been good. They've properly improved themselves, they can play Premier League football now. After a couple of years ago, they were just not a good Premier League team, and they got relegated constantly every time when they got back up. And this season, they've proven they're not scared anymore. They're going to fight, and they keep fighting. They're fighting, and that's why Fulham are having a good season and playing Premier League football, and they're going to finish 10th. So they're going to finish halfway in the Premier League table, and that's why they're going to do it, and that's why they're a strong team. Next up is the Conference League, finishing 7th place. And for me, I'm going to say that's going to be a Chelsea side. I think Chelsea will just they'll get Europe spots, but I don't think they'll just like fight for Europa League or Champions League. I think they're just going to fight and get 7th place, and that's in my prediction. And hopefully that can prove to them that they can do it. Even though when I think they've got a new manager now. Yeah, they're doing it. They got the Leicester City manager, which I don't know why they sacked this. Leicester City sacked him and got him. That's how things go sometimes. That's how. Let's go home. Anyway, yeah. So that's my prediction. Chelsea will finish 7th, even though they still got Sterling. As I said, they'll just stay 7th place. They'll get European spots. Moving on to Europa League, I think that'll be Newcastle. Newcastle, I think they'll just get Europa League. I think they'll finish 6th place. Because even though they got Eddie Howe, and Eddie Howe's has actually been proven Newcastle to be a good season, I think they'll just they'll fight, they'll push, they'll give advantage, but in my opinion, I think they'll do it. I think they'll fight and push and push and push and push. Next up is in 5th place. I'm going to predict my team, Man United, because even though we had a very, very, very bad season last season, even though we finished in the top 10, but we had ended Take Hard was not a best season, and they even lost Community Shield. Even though they lost Community Shield, they won the FA Cup, but it's just unlucky. They're fighting, but they just don't win the They don't win. What's it called? They don't win. They just don't get into the top 4, which is disappointing because I've been supporting Man United and Luton for about 7 years, both of them at the same time, and it's just really disappointing. These two teams don't improve themselves. They want to fight. Obviously, they do want to fight, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so that's my prediction. Next up is Champions League, and that's going to be finishing in 4th. In the 4th place. Oh no, actually, I just realised I forgot to predict in 8th place. So predict that. So that's why. And that's fine. Yeah, Brian and Chelsea. I've swapped Chelsea to finish 8th and finish 9th, and Brighton to finish 8th, because I'll go to Brighton. Yeah, Brighton. I think Brighton will just have a very slopping season. I think Brighton they've lost their manager recently. I don't know who's the new manager, but Brighton, I think they're playing tonight as I'm recording this. I think Brighton will just slip out, and they'll just go into slip, and they'll just not fight push. They got Europa League 2 seasons ago. That's a big improvement for them, but I just say Brighton will just slip out. Confidently, I'll put Spurs in it because I don't mind Spurs. Spurs are actually a good team, even though last year they broke a record. They were it was 11 games without defeat. That's a big improvement. Since when they lost to Chelsea, it kind of slipped down a bit. But I think Tottenham will get confidence. I think they'll just push their luck and maybe achieve myself and predict and say aside and see what happens. Next up is 4th place. I'm going to say Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa will get Champions League spot for the 2nd season in a row, because what achievement they did last season, getting Champions League, that's a big improvement. That's a big deal to get big deal, and just think they'll do it. And that's why they're going to push and push and push, and that's why they're going to get Champions League spots again for the 2nd season in a row. And next up is 3rd place. I'm going to say I think Arsenal will finish 3rd. I think Arsenal will finish 3rd. I think they'll just won't. Arsenal, for the last 2 seasons, they've just been slipping out, and they've just not been a strong side, a strong team to push their luck and fight for first the title. and they just always slip out. There's something behind the scenes, like they'll just make them slip out, and that's why they'll do it, and that's why they keep pushing, they keep making mistakes, and that's why they keep losing the league title. Next up, it's been average. I know people are going to slag me off for this, yeah, but I don't really care. Man City, I think Man City will. I know they've won 4 Premier League titles in a row, like that's a record, but I just think this season it's a bit of change. I think they're not going to win anymore. They don't think they're going to win this season, and that's why Man City will finish second. And that's what I'm going to say to predict and just see what happens. So even though they've got a good team like Grealish, Haaland, Foden, who else I still have? Stones. They have a good season, but I don't think that they'll do it. And that's why in first place I will predict Liverpool. Yes, you know, probably thinking like Liverpool really. I think that since the new manager from, I think it was Netherlands they brought in, yeah, I think he'll do well and bring Liverpool into the title fight. I know Jurgen Klopp had a very good season with Liverpool, 9 years as a Liverpool manager. I think it will just happen, and I think they'll just see what happens and makes a change and push the luck or something. And that's why Liverpool will win this year's Premier League, this season's Premier League. If I can show you, if it shows the camera. Yep. So 20th is Ipswich, 19th is Nottingham Forest, 18th is Everton, Wolves 17th, Southampton 16th. Bournemouth 15, Brentford 14, Crystal Palace 13, Leicester City 12, West Ham 11th, Fulham 10th, Chelsea 9th, Brighton 8th, Tottenham 7th, Newcastle 6th, Man United 5th, Aston Villa 4th, Arsenal 3rd, Man City 2nd, and Liverpool will win the league. Yeah, so that's my prediction. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please like, subscribe and share and hit the bell. I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.